Hello YouTube, I'm back now for part 2 of this zombie commentary. Right, we just left off talking about the huge pair of lovely boobs on the front of YouTube, but time to carry on with this one. We're just hit round 5, so let's go. Now, I've literally just woken up. It is 10 past 10 in the morning right now. Well, no, I've been awake for about an hour and a half, but I'm still sleepy. And the reason I'm up so early is because I have got work in, well, 40 minutes technically. That's when I should leave. And then I've got uni, so I've got 4 hours of work, and then another few hours of university, and then cool. But the thing is that we're just doing some painting at work or whatever. We're redoing the walls, so therefore I've got to come in, do some painting, do a lot of cleaning, stuff like that. But at least I don't have to bother with fucking drunk customers, which is nice. Means I'll actually get to earn some money without getting pissed off and things like that. Yeah. Now I tell you, I had a very bizarre scenario last night, because I rented some films. Because if you watch my BFB vids videos, you'll know that I'm doing a New Year's resolution to watch 150 new films, films I haven't seen before, just not new films, but ones I haven't seen before. And so therefore I go to Blockbuster and I get the 5 films for £5 deal regularly. But it's gotten to a stage where I've rented all the films in that huge library of films, which I would actually like to see. So I'm just I gotta start going through the shittier, cheaper films now, and cool, I've rented some crap in my time from there, that's for sure. Because I'm actually do a series on my BFB vids channel, just about terrible movies that I rented and stuff like that. And one such film was last night called Dance of the Dead. I've just been playing a lot of Nazi zombies yesterday and lately, as you know, so I decided to rent a shitty zombie film, and yeah, it was pretty shitty. Basically, zombies rise out of the ground. It's on the night of a high school dance, and a couple people who didn't get to the dance in time have to stop all the zombies getting to the dance. That's about it. There wasn't much to the film, basically, but it was better than some zombie films could be, I suppose. At least they did proper zombies. Most zombie films nowadays are about an infection. About someone gets bitten by a zombie or gets injected with something they shouldn't in a lab, and then whenever they bite someone they turn into a zombie, stuff like that. But no, this was like zombies coming out of the ground and shit, It was real zombies. And I actually do have Night of the Living Dead on Blu-ray, the original 60s one, and cool. I love old films, okay? I think older films are some of the best films you can actually watch nowadays, purely because there's so much shit in cinema nowadays. But with the older films, I'm sorry, but sometimes they do date, and Night of the Living Dead is no exception. That film has dated a huge amount. It's ridiculous. It's just, back in its day, it was incredible, because it's like, this film wrote the book on zombie apocalypse films. It made the rules saying that you can kill zombies with fire, you have to hit them in the head, you have to board up your doors and your windows and stuff like that. That stuff you see in this. You've got to do that kind of thing, and this film wrote the book on those rules. They can be killed, but it has to be a hit to the head, like I've already said, just rules like that. This film made those rules, and it's quite interesting to watch nowadays. But in its day, it was a lot more controversial, obviously, because of the violence and stuff. It's kid stuff now, but back in the day, it was something quite serious. And of course, they had a black lead in the film. This was the 60s in America. Back then, that was something. That was a big deal. The fact that they had someone who was black playing the lead character. And nowadays, it's just like, yeah, it's a shitty zombie film, really. Just because there are so many shitty zombie films that have copied it. But hey, it's still worth seeing. I recommend watching it. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. I don't really get why every zombie film has to end with "of the dead." Dance of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Shaun of the Dead. They've all got "of the dead" in the end. I think if Resident Evil could get away with it, they would call Resident Evil 6 Day of the Dead. They really would do that. I believe they would do that. But hey, Resident Evil has kind of gone to the series of not saying zombies anymore, but merely just strange viruses which make people go wrong, that kind of thing. Dear oh dear. Resident Evil really went, I don't know what to think about Resident Evil series actually, because on one side it's been really successful and they've made some fun games, but they've also made some quite shitty things, really. Like, they made, remember Resident Evil 5, for a start. Not very good. Resident Evil films, oh, bugger me. I went to see the latest one in the cinema with my ex-girlfriend, because there was nothing else on, you know, we just wanted to go to the cinema. So we watched Resident Evil Afterlife, you know, in 3D, wow. Oh, that film was rubbish. There wasn't even any zombie slaying in it, you know, it was about locked in a prison, which is surrounded by zombies, trying to get out of the prison without noticing the zombies. Without the zombies noticing them. So, okay, you just basically said you're not going to see the zombies because you're trying to get around them. Yeah, it's cool. But, it wasn't a very good film. It wasn't a very good film. The only good thing about number 4 was that it introduced Albert Wesker and Chris Redfield into the actual film. Those had the executioner guy who was in Resident Evil 5, you know. He was in there. He was pretty cool, actually. But yeah, it was a very bad film. Had very good music as well. You know, my ex-girlfriend, because it was her birthday not long after we watched the film, she asked if I could buy her the soundtrack, you know, the CD. And, it's alright, I suppose. Better than some films, I guess. Okay, so, what am I doing now? Right now, I've actually been trying to get all the lunar landers and stuff so I can get the Whack-a-Pack. Whack-a-Pack? What the fuck is the Whack-a-Pack? The Pack-a-Punch machine. Epic fail. But I want to unlock that because I haven't actually got it in Ascension yet. In Kino, it's dead easy. You know, just get to the final room, hit teleporter, and then you know hit the other. You know, I think one of the reasons why I really enjoy the area in Kino is because when you get to the Pack-a-Punch machine, you've got a big area in which you can kind of snipe all the bastards down the lower floors, and you know it's quite secluded as well, so you can use your Pack-a-Punch machine, you can be safe for a while, and you can have sex with as many midget hookers as you can get in the time, you know. Even if they're zombie midget hookers, you know. I don't care. I'm sure society wouldn't care if there was a zombie apocalypse. That's an interesting thing. What would happen if, say, you know, say zombies started to fall in love with each other and things like that. Because that was something they touched on in this terrible film, Dance of the Dead, yesterday. Like, at the end, it was just the one character really loved this girl. Ray gun for the win. But one character really loved this girl. And then they both became zombies at the end. Sorry to spoil it, but you're not going to see the fucking film. And then the zombies started to kiss each other and stuff. It was like, and then started to eat each other's faces and stuff. It was like, would that happen? I don't know. It's worth thinking about. It's worth thinking about. Okay. Round 9. Subscribe.